apologize,
This call
gentlemen.
is
I
being
just
recorded.
noticed that I did not have the recording on. I am so pissed. I done missed y'all wisdom. But hey, it ain't too late. We got this last one because this last one is cold-blooded. And I think the creator wanted this last one to be, that's usually what a brother do to kind of protect his mistakes. He called on the creator. I think the creator wanted us to miss all that other stuff that was said, right? So that we can go and beat up this last one, right? But yeah, man, it's sort of like the society praises the potential. You know what I'm saying? And I think in our culture, we need to get rid of that. We need to stop praising the potential because you know what I'm saying. It's like many of us are resting on our potential into the later years in our lives. This is why we got so many and elders that are listening. Please forgive me. This is why we got so many late year elders. You know what I'm saying? These are elders who come into consciousness at 55 and 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? Because their potential was kind of they rested on their potential and they got a job. You see what I'm saying? And it's like man, we're robbing our culture, we're robbing our children because we're setting a horrible example because we are not soaring. You know what I'm saying? We have the wings, like the bird in the story. The bird, like I said, the bird does not have to soar to get up higher in the tree, and to get up in higher in the tree that provides the bird with more security. If the bird got more security, he's able to build up more confidence. If he's able to build up more confidence, he may be able to fly higher. He don't even have to soar. But the damn bird is satisfied with the low branches. If this is not a description of where our people are in their mind state, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying? And this is a Turkish proverb. You know what I'm saying?
It's that gravity, man.
Crazy to me. Huh?
It's that gravity. That gravity. That gravity is
Go ahead,
the thing.
explain.
It's that gravity thing, the low branches. Can you overcome that lower elevation where the gravity is strongest? As you get higher, gravity gets weaker and you elevate and go to higher planes. But all that stuff that you mentioned is all related to to me it's the whole concept of gravity holding us back, and can you get to that escape velocity? You know what I'm saying?
Wow. See, those of you out there on Spreaker, y'all just missed that. My brother, listen, Brother Shimsu just dropped it. Hey, he said, excuse me, because I got people on that might be listening out here on Spreaker. Well, I ain't even gonna tell y'all. Y'all got to call in at 614-556-4535. Maybe he might repeat it. Give him a round of applause. Dude.
Hey.
Dude.
But
you have just cracked my head open because you said that the higher you go, the weaker gravity becomes. So that means that many people, far as the mental state, their mental state are so low that the gravity pull is so strong, so it's hard for them to get the simple things. But if they were to try to get that escape velocity by doing the things to push their mind, they would start rising up to eventually the thinking and the ideas will come to them easy. My goodness.
Check this out, Hacha. But if we really realize who we are, just think of our hair as a people and what it does when it's in its natural state. It actually defies gravity. You look at everybody else on the planet's hair, it falls back towards the earth because gravity is pull on it. But ours, in its natural state, defies gravity. It does the exact opposite. But yet,
there you go.
Here we are having individuals that are wanting to try to change the structure of what's within them so that it can be like everybody else's who's being pulled back down.
Because it looks so good to be down, huh?
There you go.
And I keep on going back to Dr. Amos. I think it's Dr. Amos Wilson. He says that the idea of white supremacy was to turn the whole world upside down so that we would see something down and think it was up. You know what I'm saying? And we would start striving for the lower states. It's almost as if we have been. It's almost like there's a curse on our community to get our children and to get us to start striving to see how low we can go. How you know what I'm saying? Seth Gooding described it as racing towards the bottom. We do it in business. I'm looking for the cheapest prices that I could get, and by doing that, I'm looking for the less I could pay people the less. I'm racing towards the bottom, and as a culture, we're racing towards the bottom. Now we're so close to the bottom that we can no longer create like we used to. I mean, the music sounds totally different. You know what I'm saying? Because I love the fact that hip hop practiced Sankofa, going back and fetching it, but it's almost as if we'd have practiced that so long that now a lot of our musicians, or a lot of the people that are stated to be our musicians, no longer can even play music. They can only take something from somebody else and dice and slice it up to come up with a beat, rather than being able to create a beat themselves. Create hell with the beat, being able to create music. You know what I'm saying? I think about the Love Supremes, the Love Supremes from back in the day. I think about Duke Ellington and his band. You know what I'm saying? I love hip hop. I have always loved hip hop. I still love hip hop. But the piece is, you know what I'm saying? We have almost. It's almost like a Mad Max movie where you got those people that's going around scavenging. You know what I'm saying? Our culture has fallen into a state of where we have accepted scavenging as a natural way of being. We'll take any job you give us. We don't want to create our own jobs. You know what I'm saying? We'll scavenge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We'll take other people's music and scavenge. Y'all better stop waiting. Y'all better come up. Hey, come on. Anybody else?
You on point, man. You on point.
So now let's move to this last one, because we at 10:41, and I don't want to hold nobody too long. I just got done running. For those that don't know, I'm gonna be I ain't racing, but I'm gonna be in a 12-mile run, a 13-mile, a half marathon on Sunday. Now, I think I might be able to do it just at 2 hours. I'm trying to go sub 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I'm 47, so what I do is what I do. I'm going to finish the run. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting ready for that 50K coming up in January and February. You know what I'm saying? And maybe by February I might have the courage to get out there in that cold and run that 50 miler, because they got a 50K and they got a 50 miler. Maybe I might get out there and do that 50 miler. I don't know. But hey, we'll see. Now, y'all ready for that last one? This last one is so full of jewels. We about to go wisdom mining. This last one right here, I think this last one is going to be a key to freeing our people. That's how dope this one is. So here we go. The house does not rest upon the ground, but upon a woman. The house does not rest upon the ground, but upon a woman. Is that my baby? No, my baby. Who is that? Is it you, Kevin?
Stay in the bed. Do not get out.
Turn your mic off when we call children's services. Turn your mic off when we call children's services. Hey.
Get out the bed, come on.
Anybody want to hit that one? The house does not rest upon the ground, but upon a woman.
Well, the woman is the foundation of humanity. She's the foundation of the household. She's the foundation of the care of children and therefore the future of humanity. And therefore, it's not upon the ground the house rests. It rests upon the foundation of womanhood.
Man.
Well,
You know, I
said, well, she is the earth.
Hey, and I have always heard of as Mother Earth. Hey, but then let's go back to the third one. No wonder can ever know the full meaning of a home. No wanderer can ever know the full meaning of a home. And then we go to this one. It says, the house does not rest upon the ground, but upon a woman. A wanderer could never really know. I mean, because when we use the word know, I know in the scriptures when it says, and he knew her, it ain't talking about just her phone number. There's a certain level of intimacy when you know something or you know someone, right? So no wonder could ever know the full meaning of home. Knowing requires intimacy. If you are a wanderer, you cannot be intimate. And in a sense, and it says the house does not rest upon the ground, but upon a woman. You cannot know a home, right? You cannot know a home if you don't know the woman in the home. And I'm not just talking about in a sexual way. I'm talking about in intimacy. And if you don't understand, and if you don't know the role of the woman intimately, right, you can never truly build a home. You can never truly build a culture. You know what I'm saying? And I keep telling people, the foundation of all of our cultures have always been based on the woman. And when the woman is off course, our cultures are off course. This is why you notice that within the last 30 years, and even now, they still trying to throw this up, the plight of the black male. They throw this up in our face, right? It's the plight of the black male. We need to fund programs to help the black male, but it's not the black male that needs the help. It's the black woman that we need to focus on. It's the black young girls, because we all know as men sitting on this call that everything we do is to impress the woman. If women are accepting gang banging and pants hanging off your ass, this is what men will do. You know what I'm saying? If they accept jerry curls, this is what we gonna get. You know what I'm saying? If they accept gold teeth, this is what's gonna happen. If they want a gun toter, this is what's gonna happen. But if they want scholars, you know what I'm saying? If they want scholars, this is what men will become. If they want warriors and protectors of the village, this is what men are going to become. If they don't accept disrespect, this is what men are going to become. The women not only shape and mold us out of the womb, right? They are first teachers, but they are also our aspiration. Because even when we try to get a home, even when we want to buy a home, we usually are trying to buy a home and we're trying to buy things for them. You know what I'm saying? This is why we have to look at our culture and understand the respect that they have for women. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the fact that she had to be a queen. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that she is the foundation of the culture. From her womb comes the culture. From her comes the culture. She holds the culture together. You know what I'm saying? She holds the culture together. And when she goes around, when she starts doing crazy things, when she starts going crazy, and if you don't believe me, let's look out here right now. You know what I'm saying? We can look right out here right now. I was watching a video today of a young lady's birthday party, and I know that the family probably listening to me now probably mad as hell. And the way that these young girls are dancing on these boys, and the way these girls are accepting, and the way that the families are accepting the way these girls dance, is letting you know where our culture is. The mothers are accepting it. They was doing everything. They did everything but took off their clothes, yo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we accept this.
Mm-hmm.
Then we wonder why can't we start businesses in our community? Why don't our children respect us? Why are our children acting crazy in these schools and in these institutions? Because they see that the women are going crazy. The women are going crazy. Not putting all of this on, but the piece that we have to understand is by them trying to get us to focus on men, they are taking the focus off the true culture bearer. Our role is to protect that culture bearer.
Right.
I'm sorry. Y'all better say something.
And so, I've even heard, that the way that our ancestors also would portray the Creator, if they had to give the Creator a human-like form, it was in that of a female. And so it's the woman who creates, and we as males, we donate. So it's our job to protect the Creator. To
protect and surround and, man, dude, go ahead. Somebody else is about to say something. No?
No, that's on point.
Now, and since we're talking about this, because me and Daoud talked about this, and I spoke about this before, and when we look at our cultures, we know, regardless of what culture we're looking at, single motherhood is nothing new. We want to act like this is something new. We want to act like this is something that's been happening since slavery. But if we go all the way back to Kemet, you know what I'm saying? I can name 2 prominent single mothers right now that the culture of Kemet is based on. We can start with the first mother, Nut, who was a single mother who was separated from her husband by her son, Ra. You know what I'm saying? That they was permanently pushed apart, and she had to deal with her kids on her own. She even had to find a way to have the children because Ra decided that he did not want her to have the children. And she still made it through that hardship. And she gave birth to Asar, Set, also Nephtet, also known as Heru, and Heru the elder. Now, Aset eventually became the next single mother, and that is the foundation of all the myths of the ancient Kemites. Single mother, single mother. Single mother gave birth to a single mother, and that single mother gave birth to the hero that took over the kingdom. And now, where did he learn to do what he did from? Who did he learn it from? Where did it come from? Because his father was in the afterlife. And he didn't have contact with his father until he was almost grown. When we look at the myth. So our culture is based on single mothers. Our culture is based on women. Now, what did these women do as single mothers? These women had a certain principle system that they lived and died by. Maya. You know what I'm saying? Maya. Right? But now, anything goes now, right? And we let them get close to our woman with that bullshit. Now anything goes. So now our children are coming out instead of coming out here rules, they're coming out sets. I'm seeing them. I see Set running through my goddamn school building every day. And I got to play Heru on them every day. You know what I'm saying? Come here, boy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't sit down. Let me talk to you. See, but I'm done. Y'all better. Come on now. But thank you for calling in.
No, you're right. I mean, the feminization of the black male. It's big, man.
The feminization of the black male, but even worse than that is, I think it is the deprincipalization of the black woman.
Mm-hmm.
The lowering of the values of the black woman was the detriment of our people. See, because if black women did not accept black men acting feminine, black men would not act feminine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
If there's some disagreement, you know, those people out there that want to join this conversation, 614-556-4535. Because this is only Brother Hatim's opinion. I'm just speaking my opinion. I speak my truth. And I need you to speak your truth. Devin's son then beat him up and took him offline. See, these kids is getting out of hand. I'm just playing. But hey, if nobody else got anything on that one,
well, I could go on that one. I don't entirely agree. I think there's multiple factors there, but I have to admit, though, I was a witness to what you're talking about. I had a foster sister who became so obsessed with revenge against her former husband that she literally emasculated the male child because that male child looked exactly like him. And everybody knew it's like this child was basically spit out from his father, and the second child looked exactly like her, and everyone would say she spit him out. And it's, lo and behold, the one who matured and believed himself to be homosexual was the one that looked exactly like the father. And I warned her that that's what she was doing to him. And, you know, not having an issue with that per se, but the issue is, why is it tolerated? And ultimately, in this case, it was to pacify that male child because he looked like the father who did not respond to her aggression the way she wanted. He did not submit. And so her goal ultimately was to get the child to submit. So in line with what you were saying, the idea that women who have had bad relationships with men or their fathers, at times they feel more comfortable if the male is effeminate or submits to their rule, despite their masculine needs. And that, I agree, would be a problem.
Oh, man. Dude, I mean, so, yeah, I'm like, yo. But, you know, like I said, the show is not for us to agree. The show is for us to do wisdom mining. So we come with our tools, and we're ready to break through these codes that our ancestors left us. Because we know we traveled all over the world. So whether Proverbs say Turkish or Mexican, we know in some form of fashion, we had something to do with these words of wisdom. Our ancestors left us these codes. So let's break them. And we don't have to agree to break them. You know what I'm saying? We could sit up here, we could argue, I don't even care. My piece is, let's get this wisdom out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if we want to, I honestly believe if we want to rescue the black community or what's left of the black areas and turn them into communities and turn those communities into tribes and those tribes into clans and them clans and into cities and those cities into states and those states into nations and those nations working together to rule the world. If we want to do that, we got to start with our women. We got to start with our women. I mean,
well, two other factors, and why I mentioned that there are multiple factors on the issue of a feminization of the black male, is that a couple of years ago, a black scientist finally came out with a big article about how he, as a scientist, was finding chemical sprays to eradicate weeds and additives in foods caused frogs and other amphibious creatures to change sexes. He found this out almost 17 years ago. and he
Oh, yeah?
attempted to get that word out, and he was blocked at every turn. Company, either it was Monsanto or Cargill, had even paid other scientists to refute his work and make it legitimate to confuse the issue. And he finally, after being sabotaged, death threats, was able to get court orders to both protect himself and to protect his work. And it did get some publicity. It didn't get as much as it should have, but it got publicity. So that's another factor of the feminization of males, period, but definitely black males, because all too often those chemicals end up disproportionately in our people.
Right.
And then the last one is entertainment industry, which we do not control. We have some influence, but we do not control. The entertainment industry for the past 30 years has slowly crept in the feminization of black men, whether it be in terms of getting more comfortable in watching them in dresses or having them act in effeminate ways or having them be portrayed as characters who are effeminate versus the aggressive, masculine white males. And those are two areas black females have absolutely no control over what to do of. But they do have an impact on the feminization of black men.
Well, I'm going to tell you what got to me. The other night, I think it was Viola Davis that won the Emmy Award for Best Actress. And now, I think it was the very next day, because my wife watches one of her, How to Get Away with
How to Kill Your Husband,
like that.
Yeah, basically How to Kill Your Husband and Get Away with It. You better watch that, man.
But
don't be lazy.
That very next night, she got her tongue down the throat of this woman on this. I'm like, after the powerful message that you said on that stage, and then the next night, you put that image out there to millions and millions of people.
Right.
That in her time of hurt and pain, she goes to the white woman's house and they have an intimate moment, and I'm like, man, this warfare is just on another level.
It's a whole but what's crazy is that it's not complicated. All of us, if we was in their position, would you not do the same thing? You see what I'm saying? It's not complicated to figure out what their strategy is. Simple. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the warriors. How do you get rid of the warriors? Like he said, it's multi-pronged. Now, my piece is, I'm like this, man. They can almost put as many chemicals as they want, but it's something in us that no matter how much they try to poison us, it's something in us that allow us still to push through. And we still, on the majority, are pursuing black women. We're pursuing black women. So I believe that if black women raise their standards for what's acceptable, I think we'll turn around. We'll turn this whole damn thing around in a matter in no time. But that's hard because we're talking about. But actually, it's not really that hard because I was thinking. I just learned about the 20-80 rule, where 20% of the people do 80% of the work, and it only takes about 20% of the people. So we get 20% of black folks conscious and 20% of the women that are black folks, which is half of 40 million, which is actually a little bit more than 20 million. What's 20% of 20 million? 4 million?
Mm-hmm.
4 million, I think. We need 4 million women changing their value system. You know what I'm saying? Don't even have to be the same value system, but just kind of up the standards. Stop it. Oh, my fault. Here we go. Stop pursuing birds that can't soar. Stop accepting birds that can't soar and that are satisfied with low branches.
That's it.
Oh, my God. Stop accepting men that sit on low branches. Really. You know what I'm saying? Stop accepting those individuals that have no vision. That stop accepting, you know what I'm saying? Stop that is no longer I mean, we got to, you know what I'm saying? So my piece is it's kind of like lights out for my generation and maybe down to about 30, maybe the early 20s. You know what I'm saying? But I can sure make a change with those ones that are below 25. You know what I'm saying? So if we start getting the message out now, and I mean, just like they crept this shit on us over the last 30 years, if we were to at least have an agenda to kind of reverse some of this, because because rap is so, hip hop, well, what they call hip hop now is so unfamiliar to me now that I can't even listen to the radio. You know what I'm saying? You got young people with the name of Young Thug that's wearing dresses and getting his fingernails done and calling other men lovers and guns dicks and shit. The level of depravity that has become acceptable by us. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just incredible, and it's all accepted. It's all okay. You could be bisexual and still have 3 women. But then we got these young dudes who will sit in the library to study the culture that won't even think, you know what I'm saying, that got to struggle to get a wife. I want a wife. Oh nah, you're my friend. I remember those days. Oh no, you my friend. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to reminisce, man. I'm still licking my wounds from back in the day. But hey, I really enjoy both of y'all calling in. I appreciate Brother Devin and all those people out there on Spreaker that was listening. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to upload this conversation that I did catch on Uber. So that you can hear the whole conversation. I'm also gonna find some montages to put up with it on video. I just got to figure out and find the time to do that. So, both of y'all gonna introduce yourselves once again, so I can make sure that people get your name right. If you want them to be able to find you on social network, go and put that out there too, But go ahead, introduce yourselves and say if you gotta find a word, go and hit them with it.
This is Brother Daoud from Dayton, Ohio. I'm on Facebook, BAUDGE, capital A, Z as in zebra, AN.
Yeah, this is Brother Saad. That's SAA. And last name Shemsu, SHEMSU. Also on the south side of Dayton. Feel free to stay in touch.
All right. And this is Brother Hatem. You can reach me on Facebook. Look at Gye-Nyame Journey. On Google Plus, Gye-Nyame Journey. On Twitter at Gye-Nyame Radio. Also, you can check us out at GyeNyameJourney.com. That's the blog. Or you come and register with us at tribe.GyeNyameJourney.com. We got a fish fry coming up on October 16th. We're trying to raise this money for the summer camp that we're trying to put on, and also to make our still able to feed our kids during our study sessions. We got a study session coming up this Saturday. We got some business that we got to handle. So those of you that's coming out that want to support us, bring your bills out so we can see about, I think, hooking up with, is it ACN?
Exactly.
We one of our members, one of our family members has a deal with ACN where a portion of all the money we save on the bills will be donated back to us so that we can use it to continue some of the programming that we're doing. We got our study session coming up this week. Sister Tracy going to work on some more Vedic math. We're going to keep on exploring Black Dot's The Matrix of Hip Hop. We're going to finish the old one, and then we're going to move into Gye-Nyame Journey. I'm still working on trying to get the Capoeira teacher back, so if you out there listening to me, you need to come on back. I would hate to have to get on there and try to do some Capoeira myself. Waiting for the brother to come back for the yoga. But, yo, if not, then I have to do all that. You know, Brother Hatem hates doing all that. We will not be practicing knife throwing on the Saturday session. That will be during the camping trips and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to set that up, set something up with that somewhere else. But, hey, this is Brother Hatem. I want to thank everybody for checking us out. Be on the lookout for my latest video. It's called The Breakthrough. It will be airing tonight. I'm about, right after I get off of this, I'm going to upload it to YouTube and send it out over my network. So be on the lookout for it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And with that, I say peace.
That's it.